Hello, I'm Luna. I live with my family in a small city in southern China. People often ask me why I'm still unmarried at 40. Honestly, I've only started asking myself that question in the last couple of years. Is it my fault? Or is it society's? Let me start with some numbers. Among China's post-80s generation, people born in the 1980s, like me, there are roughly 11.8 million unmarried men, about 5.29% of the cohort. But unmarried women like me? Just 4.2 million. That's only 1.88%. So, yes, I am part of that 1.88%. And statistically speaking, a big part of how my life turned out comes down to choices I made myself. By the way, if you've spent any time on Chinese social media, you've probably seen the jokes. People born in the 80s are called Lao Dong, Old Deng. The 90s are Zhong Dong, Middle Deng. And the post-2000s? Xiao Deng, Little Deng. It's all in good fun. But it does make you realize Gen Z is already grown. And people like me, we're just getting older. So why did I end up in that 1.88%? Honestly, 4 reasons. First, insecurity. When I was younger, I never looked for someone who was actually compatible with me. I just looked for anyone who made me feel safe. Turns out, safety without compatibility just leads to endless arguments. Second, I kept waiting. I always told myself I wasn't thin enough, pretty enough, or earning enough. I'll get married once I'm fully ready, I said. Year after year, that moment never came. Third, I'm passive. I'm an introvert, and I always expected the guy to make the first move. But the guys who made the first move were never the ones I actually liked. Fourth, I matured late. Through my 20s and even into my 30s, I had almost no sense of urgency about marriage. I never had that fairy tale romantic moment. It just never happened. And honestly, there was another fear underneath all of it. I was afraid that even if I did meet someone I liked, living together day after day, they'd only see my flaws. Not my good sides, just the things that annoy them. Now, I want to talk about something that really changed me. In China, once a woman turns 35, she gets labeled a shengnu, a leftover woman. There's this idea that as you get older, you become less wanted, less valuable. On dating apps, the moment I state my real age, most people just stop replying. Blind dates are even worse. Sometimes the guy doesn't even show up. But the hardest truth I faced is this. In many traditional marriages here, women are valued primarily for one thing: fertility. Marriage is seen less as a partnership and more as a way to continue the family bloodline. And once a woman passes 35, society quietly starts to push her aside. Some people use a brutal metaphor. A woman past her childbearing years is like an old house where the water and electricity have been cut off. Nothing works anymore. No one wants to live in it. That image broke something in me. Not because it's true, but because so many people actually believe it. Every woman deserves to be loved as a complete human being, not valued only for her ability to have children. Why do I struggle with low self-esteem? Sometimes I think it traces back to my very first relationship. I loved my first boyfriend deeply, but his mother rejected me simply because my family is from the countryside. Back then, matching family status was a very harsh reality. We ended up parting ways. But looking back now, I realize something important. Although my parents are farmers, they gave me and my sister the best education and all the love they could offer. This kind of nurturing family atmosphere means far more to me than material wealth or social status. So today, if a potential partner looks down on my family background, I would firmly walk away. I am proud of where I come from, and I will never let anyone make me feel small for it. In recent years, the dating culture online has become quite strange. The word partner, 搭子 in Chinese, used to be simple. A hiking buddy, a dining buddy, or a movie buddy. But now, some men use it as a way to find casual hookups. The word has been twisted into something it was never meant to be. Besides that, before people even start dating, they are already stressed about bridal prices, who pays for the first meal, or whether to split the bill. Some complain that women today don't want to go through hardships with them. And almost everyone wants a perfect partner based on a standardized checklist: good-looking, low maintenance, and cheap. It feels like everyone's preferences are cloned from the exact same template. There's no room left for recognizing someone's unique charm. I believe everyone has their own distinct beauty. But perhaps because of the limitations of dating apps, we can no longer see a living, breathing person. We swipe through dozens of people every day. If one doesn't seem perfect, we just move on to the next. We have completely lost the patience and curiosity to genuinely get to know someone. Recently, I had some experiences that finally made me let go. My father set me up on a blind date. It went exactly how you'd expect. The first question was about my age and whether it was safe for me to have children. Then I talked to a few men actively looking for wives on social media. The message was always the same. They preferred women under 35, purely for childbirth. I finally understood. I stopped expecting marriage under these conditions. I can respect where they're coming from. I can understand the biology, but I will not accept that my worth in a relationship comes down to whether I can bear children. If that's the foundation, then the moment that fades, so does everything else. What kind of marriage is that? What peace would I ever find in that? So I chose to let go. I'm not going to pour my energy into something that sees me as a fertility function. I'm going to put my energy into things that actually matter to me. Financial independence, inner peace, the wind on a mountain trail. Happiness isn't only found in romance. A few days ago, I read about 7 single people and their stories. A 38-year-old businesswoman who called off her wedding 1 month before the ceremony after seeing who her fiancé really was. A 42-year-old programmer who ended his relationship because he couldn't afford a down payment on a house. A 36-year-old female doctor who had seen too much human nature to unsee it. None of them said they regretted it, but every single one admitted, "Sometimes I feel a little lonely." That hit me, because having no regrets and feeling lonely aren't opposites. They didn't reject marriage because they hate love. They rejected it because they've seen too many bad ones. They looked clearly at what was holding them back, and they made the brave choice to stop. Here's the thing. Older generations married for survival. No internet, no food delivery, no running water. You needed a partner just to farm, cook, and raise kids. One person couldn't make it alone. But today, you can order groceries from your phone. You can support yourself financially. You can live alone and do just fine. We don't have to tie our lives to someone just to survive anymore. Through all this confusion, I found something that grounded me. I started listening to podcasts about women building financial independence. And I realized true security doesn't come from a partner. It comes from your own ability to earn and sustain yourself. There's an old story I love, Plato's wheat field. A young man walks through a field on 3 different days. On the first 2 days, he keeps searching for the perfect wheat stalk and walks out with nothing. On the 3rd day, he sees one, not the biggest, not the most perfect, but one that feels right. He picks it and brings it back to Socrates. Socrates smiles and says, "You found it. This is happiness." For me, happiness isn't about finding the theoretically perfect partner on paper. It's about choosing the one your heart truly wants. Out of the vast ocean, I only take the one cup that appeals to my heart. Marriage used to be a life mission. For many of us today, it's just one experience. An extra credit, not a requirement. I still believe in love. But the kind of love I hope for isn't built on a society checklist or fertility metrics. It's simple. I choose to be with you simply because you are you. And if that person never comes, that's okay too. Because my life, on my own terms, with my own independence, building my own future, is already worth living. My friends, do you face this kind of pressure where you live? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for listening to my story. See you next time.